Hi. Good evening, YouTube. I need to wash my hair tonight. So, welcome to Well Read with the Everyday Ministry. Now, let me explain to you why I'm doing this. I'm going to be as transparent as I can be. I'm going to be as transparent as I have been. I'm just going to keep it real with you. 100% real. I'm going to put some on my lips. So let me tell you. The reason that I'm going to start reading to you all is because I can't have idle time. When I have idle time, as a reformed pothead, I used to take up that time with some weed. hmm and it's an adjustment for me to find other things to do besides roll up. It is an adjustment for me. And so I have a series of books. Let me see if I can lift this up a little bit more. It's a little better. And so it's an adjustment for me to be able to, oh, my dirty clothes. That's embarrassing. Let me move my dirty clothes out the way. Ew, hold on. It's not like you can really see. Oh, wait. Okay, maybe I'll put them right here. Okay, so, it's an adjustment for me, really. When I wind down, like after working all day and after making my errands and stuff, what I really like to do is come home and roll up and kind of veg the fuck out and watch TV or watch Netflix. And then next thing I know, hours have gone by and then I start feeling bad because I'm not productive. I haven't done anything. Sometimes we do need that rest. Yeah, it is what it is. And sometimes nothing's wrong with a few puffs here and there. But on the path that I'm on, although sometimes I am weak of the flesh, I do have to start learning how to occupy my time in other ways besides, drinking and smoking. And so I want to send some encouragement out there to anybody that's on their path and you're still lost, you finally decided to rededicate your life back to Christ. And you're like, man, I can't stop right away. God is not expecting you to, he just is expecting you to at least try. You know what I'm saying? And as you get closer to God, you want to be better. You want to do right. It's just in your spirit. You're like, oh, I just can't. And so I'm reaching that point where it's like, I got to find other things to do. And so reading is one of those things. As a little girl, I used to read myself to sleep. And I was reading grown ass books, y'all. I'm reading Eric Jerome Dickey. Yo, rest in peace to him. He literally shaped my childhood. This is probably why I think Black relationships are supposed to be dysfunctional. I grew up reading Zane. I read all the books. Fly Girls, Coldest Winter Ever. I have the whole entire American Girl series, of course, Addie. And so reading is just a part of my life. And God let me know you need to reincorporate that. So I've picked 3 books to read. Of course, it's going to take us some time to get through these books. And I'm thinking I'll just read 7 pages at a time. This is so we can stay into a flow and not really move too fast. And then I have something I can look forward to that is not rolling up every day. And so thank you for fellowshipping with me in this way. And the first book, oh God, the first book has a very, very, very special place in my heart. I know this movie like the back of my hand. And I figured this is a great book. I even have, I may stop and take notes because it's been a while since I read this book. And I know that there are some poignant messages and I don't want to miss anything. And so, I love this book. Okay, I'm going to show you in a minute, but there's something I want to say. I wrote it down earlier, and I want to make sure that I say it in the right way. Okay, this book, this is what I feel about this book, this story, which has also been adapted into a movie, which I believe is a Black cult classic. Okay. This movie and this book is a testimony of holding on to God's unchanging hand, to see the journey through by any means, that God is always with us during our darkest and lowest moments. This is a piece of my testimony, even. Okay. I will create. Okay. That's got something else. That got something else. I went on to something else. Okay. We're going to read together Alice Walker's The Color Purple. Now, earlier I said that I was going to read Honoring the Difficult. That's still on the list. So the first three books that we're going to read together are, we're going to read Alice Walker's The Color Purple. The one after that, I haven't decided which one will be next. We're going to also read Zora Neale Hurston's Their Eyes Were Watching God. And then we're going to read Alice Walker's Honoring the Difficult. And this is, I'm sorry if you hear a noise in the back. That's my cat using her litter box and stuff. And Honoring the Difficult, The Same River Twice, Honoring the Difficult is a memoir that she wrote while recording or while filming the movie The Color Purple. And so there are some excerpts from Steven Spielberg and Quincy Jones just about, that whole entire moment. And so let's get started. This is my anti-drug. And so I thank you all for joining me, while I press forward, okay? Of course, I don't own the rights to this book. This is for educational, motivational, inspirational purposes only. Alice Walker, you're amazing. And you wrote the most amazing book. And I'm going to let y'all know right now, I will cry. This book makes me cry. I'm going to cry. If you watched any of my videos, you already know I'm a crybaby. Okay? All right. So let's get started. Alice Walker, The Color Purple. I'm so excited. So excited to read this with y'all. And like I said, we're only going to do 7 pages at a time. Already, I'm ready to just pass out. So copyright 1982 by Alice Walker. Like I said, all rights go to Miss Lady. All right. The first Harvest edition. This is a 2003 edition. I don't know what I'm supposed to be reading. All rights reserved. I don't know. I'm just trying to cover my ass. I don't want nobody being like, hey, she's trying to, so I got to make sure these videos are not monetized, of course. And so her foreword says, to the Spirit, without whose assistance, neither this book nor I would have been written. Amen. Okay. Show me how to do like you. Show me how to do it. That's a Stevie Wonder quote that she felt important to put in the book as well. Am I going to read the preface? No. We're going to get right into it. Let's go. You better not never tell nobody but God. It'll kill your mammy. Dear God, I am 14 years old. I have always been a good girl. Maybe you can give me a sign. Let me know what is happening to me. Last spring, after little Lucius come, I heard them fussing. He was pulling on her arm. She say it too soon. Fonzo, I ain't well. Finally, he leave her alone. A week go by, he pulling on her arm again. She said, no, I ain't gonna. Can't you see I'm already half dead? And all of these children? She went to visit her sister doctor over in Macon, left me to see after the others. He never had a kind word to say to me. Just say, you gonna do what your mammy wouldn't. First, he put his thing up against my hip and sort of wiggle it around. Then he grabbed hold of my titties. Then he pushed his thing inside my pussy. I'm gonna let y'all know now, it's some raw language, but this is a child. Also understand that. Also understand that. God. Woo! When that hurt, I cried. He started to choke me, saying, "You better shut up and get used to it." But I don't ever get used to it. And now I feel sick every time I be the one to cook. My mama, she fuss at me and look at me. She happy because he good to her now, but too sick to last long. Dear God, my mama dead. She died screaming and cussing. She screaming at me. She cuss at me. I'm big. I can't move fast enough. By the time I get back from the well, the water be warm. By the time I get the tray ready for the food, I'm sorry, by the time I get the tray ready, the food be cold. By the time I get all the children ready for school, it be dinner time. He don't say nothing. He sat there by the bed, holding her and crying, talking about, "Don't leave me, don't go." She asked me about the first one, "Whose is it?" I say, "God's." I don't know no other man or what else to say. When I start to hurt, then my stomach start moving, then that little baby come out my pussy, chewing on it fist. You could have knocked me over with a feather. Don't nobody come see us. She got sicker and sicker. Finally, she asked where it is. I said, God took it. He took it. He took it while I was sleeping. Killed it out there in the woods. Kill this one too if he can. Dear God, he act like he can't stand me no more. Say I'm evil and always up to no good. He took my other little baby, a boy this time, but I don't think he killed it. I think he sold it to a man and his wife over Monticello. I think he sold it to, I'm sorry, I got breast full of milk running down myself. He say, "Why don't you look decent? Put on something." But what am I supposed to put on? I don't have nothing. I keep hoping he finds somebody to marry. I see him looking at my little sister. She's scared. But I say, "I'll take care of you with God help." Y'all, I'm trying not to cry. This girl, 14 now. Jesus Christ. Just know that whatever it is that you're going through, hold on. Hold on. If you ain't seen The Color Purple, you know it took her a long time to find her confidence and her self-esteem, but this entire book is her writing letters to God. Hold on. I just did a video about this. It's blurry. The vision is very blurry, but you know there's an expected end. It's effective. This journey is effective. I'm back. Dear God, he come home with a girl from round the way named Gray. She be my age, but they married now. He be on her all the time. She walk around like she don't know what hit her. I think she thought she loved him, but he got so many of us all needing something. My little sister Nettie's got a boyfriend in the same shape, almost as Pa. His wife died. She was killed by her boyfriend coming home from church. He only got 3 children though. He seen Nettie in church, and now every Sunday, here come Mister. I tell Nettie to keep at her books. It be more than a notion taking care of children ain't yours. And look at what happened to Mom. Dear God, he beat me today because he say I winked at a boy in church. I may have got something in my eye, but I ain't wink. I don't even look at men's. That's the truth. I look at women though, because I'm not scared of them. Maybe because my mama cussed me, you think I kept mad at her, but I ain't. I felt sorry for my mama, trying to believe his story killed her. Sometimes he still be looking at Nettie, but I always get in his light. Now I tell her to go marry Mister. I don't tell her why. I say, marry him, Nettie, and try to have one good year out your life. After that, I know she be big. But me, never again. A girl at church say, you gonna get big if you bleed every month. I don't even bleed no more. Mm. Dear God, Mr. finally come right out and asked for Nettie hand in marriage. But he won't let her go. He say she too young, no experience. Say Mr. got too many children already. Plus, what about the scandal his wife caused when somebody killed her? And what about all this stuff he hear about Shug Avery? What about that? I asked our new mammy about Shug Avery. What is it? I asked. She don't know, but she said she gonna find out. She do more than that. She get a picture, the first one of a real person I ever seen. She say Mister was taking something out his billfold to show Pa and it fell out and slid under the table. Shug Avery was a woman, the most beautiful woman I ever saw. She more pretty than my mama. She about 10,000 times more prettier than me. I see her there in furs, her face rouged, her hair like something tail. She grinning with her foot up on somebody's motor car. Her eyes serious though, sad something. I asked her to give me the picture, and all night long I stare at it. And now when I dream of Shug Avery. She be dressed to kill, whirling and laughing. Dear God, I asked him to take me instead of Nettie while our new mammy's sick. But he just asked me what I'm talking about. I tell him I can fix myself up for him. I duck into my room and come out wearing horsehair feathers and a pair of new mammy high heel shoes. He beat me for dressing trampy, but he do it to me anyway. Mister come that evening, I'm in the bed crying. Nettie say she finally see the light of day clear. Our new mammy, she see it too. She in her room crying. Nettie tend to first one, then the other. She's so scared she go outdoors and vomit, but not out front where the two men's is. Mister say, well, sir, I sure hope you done changed your mind. He said, no, can't say I is. Mister say, well, my poor little one sure could use a mother. Well, he say real slow, I can't let you have Nettie. She too young. Don't know nothing don't know nothing but what you tell her. Besides, I wanted to get some more schooling, make a school teacher out of her. But I can let you have Celie. She the oldest anyway. She ought to marry first. She ain't fresh though, but I expect you already know that. She spoiled twice. But you don't need a fresh woman no how. I got a fresh one in there myself and she's sick all the time. He spit over the railing. The children get on her nerve. She not much of a cook and she big already. Mister, he don't say nothing. I stop crying. I'm so surprised. She ugly, he say. But she ain't no stranger to hard work. And she clean. And God done fixed her. You can do everything just like you want to. And she ain't gonna make you feed it or clothe it. Mister still don't say nothing. I take out the picture of Shug Avery. I look into her eyes. Her eyes say, yeah, it bees that way sometime. Fact is, he say I got to go get rid of her. She too old to be living here at home. And she a bad influence on my other girls. She come with her own linen. She can take that cow she raised down there back. I'm sorry. As you can see, this is some different language. I'm trying to catch it on. She can take that cow she raised down there back of the crib. But Nettie, you flat out cannot have. Not now, not never. Mr. Finally speak, clearing his throat. I ain't never really look at that one, he said. Well, next time you come, you can look at her. She ugly. Don't even look like she can to Nettie, but she'll make a better wife. She ain't that smart either. And I'll just be fair. You have to watch her, or she'll give away everything you own. But she can work like a man. Mr. say, how old is she? He say, she near 20. And another thing, she tell lies. That is the first 7 pages of The Color Purple. My God. Whew. Deep, right? Very deep. And this whole book is her writing letters to God about the ugliness and nastiness that she's seen. I'm gonna let you know something. I don't care what you're going through. It ain't that. You understand? Sitting around listening to 2 men talk about your worth and then really believing it for years. But still having so much faith and so much hope that God was still listening to you every step of the way. Child, you want to talk about unshakable faith? Through all of that, she wrote letters to God every single time. How many times have you been like, man, God ain't even listening to me. Ain't no way. And just kind of like gave up on that. Ain't no way. This whole story, and if you've seen the movie, you know that it says, Dear God. Every time there's a narration, it's Dear God, because every single, see that? Dear God, every single page, Dear God is a letter to God. Start writing your letters to God. There were some things that Celie was missing, and could you blame her? Nobody put it in her. Nobody put that self-esteem in her. Nobody put that confidence in her. But she believed that she had it. So it took her a long time, but she made it, did she not? Did she not? Hold on to God's unchanging hand. We're going to continue this tomorrow. We're going to pick up on page 9. So I finished the letter. So it's 7 and an 8. Okay. I'm going to write that down really fast. Amen. I hope that you all enjoy that. Thank you for tuning in. Again, this is my little anti-drug reading. Gonna do the rest of my laundry. And probably, I don't know what else I'm gonna do. I don't know, but I'll see you all later on tonight, maybe around 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning for Burning the Midnight Oil. I love you all. Happy Friday. And we'll get back to The Color Purple reading tomorrow, probably around the same time, 4 or 5, something like that. Just keep your notifications on for when I go live. Okay? I love you all. Peace.